All right, welcome back.
Hello.
Hello, Jeremy. And this week we're up to the Beatles. Help! The album as well as the soundtrack for the film of the same name. And let's get it started. Let's begin with track one, Help. All right. So that was Help, the title track.
Yes.
Good one.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a good song.
My favorite story I've heard about that from Paul McCartney, is he's like, I didn't realize at the time that he was literally crying out for help. I was just like, oh yeah, and we could do harmonies here and harmony. But he's literally writing a song called Help.
Yeah.
You weren't listening, Paul.
Help.
Paul.
Headphone warning.
Jeremy's used to it by now, aren't you, bud?
Right. But, yeah, I mean...
It is sad that everyone around him was like, yeah, and he's, calling out like that,
But he probably brushed it off himself. If anyone were to, ask him, he probably would have been like, no, it's just a song. No, it's just a song. Yeah. It's just a song.
Yeah, that's true.
People don't want to actually talk about things like that.
But also,
Yeah.
I mean, in 1965, what would you assume was wrong with John Lennon's life?
Right.
Right.
Which was part of, why he was so forlorn at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
He felt disconnected.
Right. I mean, it's a great song for mentally ill people.
I remember being little and not quite understanding, because I was, obviously as young as you can really get.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was like, you didn't need help when you were young, because I need help every day. I can't even pour my own milk. Like, I'm a little kid. But now at this point, obviously,
Yeah, I didn't understand that he wasn't talking about, physically helping him.
Yeah.
Right.
In my little tiny brain, it was like, he is in an emergency situation, and he should call 911.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that episode of Full House where they built the recording studio in the basement,
Yeah.
so that they could do Rush Hour Renegades from home instead of having to go to the radio studio. But they got locked in there.
Yeah.
And Danny's walking around. He's like, "Oh, have you seen Jesse and Joey?" It's like, "I think they're in the basement." He goes over to the door and they're like, "Help!" He's like, "Oh, they're singing the Beatles."
Yeah. I remember getting a kick out of that.
Anytime anyone mentioned the Beatles.
And especially when I was a kid,
Yeah.
if there was any Beatles reference on anything, I was like, "The Beatles!"
Yeah, pretty much.
I still kind of.
I do it in my head, but not outside.
Sometimes I'll be like, that was lame. But,
If one of them, Paul McCartney showed up on an episode of 30 Rock once, and I did the first time I saw it, I was like, Paul McCartney! Because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
But if it's just a reference now, I can keep it in my pants. But, it was him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this song is good.
Or when he was on BoJack Horseman. Oh, that was just his voice.
That's okay.
That still counts.
That counts.
Well, yeah, it counts, but I didn't
I
clap
didn't know
my
he was on
hands.
BoJack
Oh.
Horseman.
You were too old by then.
Yeah, he's on an episode of BoJack.
He does everything.
I knew he was in Shrek, but
God,
He's in Shrek?
when he showed up in
He's
Shrek
in Shrek.
3.
Oh, yeah, no.
yeah.
I didn't deal with it after the first one.
I saw all
Shrek
of them
2's
in
not
theaters.
bad. Shrek
I actually
3's
think
bad.
I
Shrek
have
3 is
seen
awful.
Shrek 2.
Shrek 3 is...
Isn't that the one where they have kids?
That Shrek 3 is... Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't want
But
to
they
think
made
about
it-
two ogres making love, so.
You're an asshole.
The only good part is they play the Beatles and Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And no, they don't play the Beatles. Sorry, it's Live and Let Die that they play in there.
Yeah.
They play most of the song. It's good stuff.
All right. So Help. I mean, that's another one that everyone knows.
Yeah.
That's a big Beatles song.
Oh yeah.
There's really not a lot you can say about it that hasn't been said.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's so drilled into my brain. I make jokes about the song almost constantly.
All right. So up next, track 2, The Night Before. All right. So The Night Before. Classic.
Oh, yeah.
Total classic.
Come on. Yeah. When did they play that in the movie?
I was going to say, actually, I like that part. It's when they... Because remember, they're trying to record the new album.
Yeah.
But
Or is that when they're in the hole?
Clang and the guys keep trying to kidnap him
Yeah.
to sacrifice Ringo to Kali.
Yeah.
So they go out to the middle of a field.
Okay,
to
so they're
record
in the
album.
hole.
Oh yeah. Wait.
Or they're
No.
playing...
Oh, when the bad
recording-
guys are in the hole?
Yeah, they're playing a
Yeah.
recording of She's a Woman in the hole.
Yeah.
And they're above the hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where they do The Night Before and I Need You, which is track
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good one. I won't get ahead of myself, but this is a good song.
Yeah,
I like it.
very good song.
I like the echo on the vocals.
Yeah.
George Martin's getting better here on this album.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it has very 60s lounge. Not like that type, but like some sort of like in my head is like could have played at a tiki bar type of thing to me. But I don't know.
Did they, you guys would know this better than me, did they ever do this song live?
No.
I never heard of them doing it live, but why would I know that better than you? I don't.
Because you guys will like watch their live?
Well,
I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess I thought you would.
Well, they didn't. No, they would just do singles.
I guess I've only watched like,
But I don't
the
think
Japan
I don't
show
know.
and the Shea Stadium show from this era. I don't think they did them.
No.
Because that would be I mean, it's like I made this point before, but like, so they never did it live. It wasn't a single. But if any other band had come out with that song, that'd be the song they were known for, Like any other band in the 60s.
They would. I don't know if it would be the song, but definitely a song they're known for.
Well, yeah.
The Trucks would have blown up with this.
Like, okay, if the Yardbirds had done this song, it would be like, this is one of their best songs.
Well, no,
well,
there's
Yardbirds
all
sound
those
like-
bands back in the 60s, though. Like, there were so many just like, and now it's the Lampshades. And they have one
Yeah.
song that's pretty catchy,
That's fair.
Oh yeah.
It depends on what band it is, but yeah,
Like
it would
the
definitely,
Beatles
it would definitely be
just-
a known song.
They pooped out those songs.
Yeah.
They gave them to all the other
Yeah.
bands.
Yeah.
They farted songs that would have been some other 60s one-hit wonder bands.
Definitely.
One hit.
Yeah. Well, they
Is
made a lot of one-hit wonders. Well, kind of really. A lot of people had huge hits with their songs and not much success with other songs.
That is true.
By today's standards. I'm sure that, I won't get into it.
Go fuck
Well,
it.
like how these bands, they would have like lots of hits back then that people would know and remember, but nowadays, who remembers them?
That
Yeah.
is true.
Well, that's with every decade,
Yeah.
So,
You only really hear the stuff that really rose to the top.
right.
Cream of the crop.
The toppermost
Right.
of the poppermost.
But at the time, be like, yeah, I like several songs by Peter and Gordon.
Yeah.
Not just like, I like a couple. And they're all written by the Beatles.
Man, that the Beatles Sirius XM channel.
Yeah.
It's Peter Asher.
Yeah.
He has a show on there,
Yeah, I've heard it.
and like all he ever does is just like, yes, I actually knew the Beatles. I was friends with them.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for everyone they knew because they all have to, like,
Yeah.
they're broke and they need to write a book about how they knew them or whatever.
Right.
I
Did you see Paul
was Paul
coming out with
McCartney's
his book?
butler.
Do you see how Paul's coming out with a book?
No.
He
A
is.
memoir of
It's
sorts.
900 pages long. It's two or three books.
I don't even read magazines
And it's
anymore.
like
so-
what it is. It's like hundreds of his song lyrics, and he's using them to tell stories.
tell the story of his life.
'cause-
So far.
right.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. I don't have money,
Yeah, I'll get
but
it
it
in a year
sounds
or so.
interesting. I'll get it 3 years from now when it's on discount at Walmart.
Yeah.
But all right. Up next, we've got, hey,
Oh.
here's a good one. You've got to hide your love away. What a good one.
Yeah, that's obviously.
They could have gone again after the flute solo.
No,
Mm.
no. I think it ends well.
Yeah.
Gets
Gets in, gets out.
Did. I wish they did. That's all.
Just hit repeat.
No.
Not as though the flute solo, that's probably the first, different instrument they've added on an album at this point.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
We would know.
you'd think we'd know.
We're trying to remember. Yeah, that sounds accurate. I don't think they've had any no,
nothing.
Yeah, just this flute so far.
Just that,
That's also, the night before, they added in, electric piano.
Yeah.
They'd had piano here and there on some of
Yeah,
their
that's
other
true.
albums, but it sort of was just, they sort of just double the guitar with it, and they had to have George Martin play it,
Yeah.
So this is really, this whole album is sort of like that halfway point between the young, clever Beatles.
Well, it's becoming less John's band.
Yeah.
It's in that in between point, really, because you see how early on Paul got a song
Compared
Number
to the
two.
last one,
Number
yeah.
2.
He has the first song on the first album, though.
That
Yeah.
doesn't count because that was a long time ago.
No, okay. But, yeah, it's definitely... Maybe the group's becoming more homogenized or unified. I don't know. At this point,
You can really hear the sound evolving.
there's no
Yeah.
way that they don't absolutely know each other at this point.
Which is
and
weird.
Are completely
because,
comfortable.
I don't listen to this album that often.
Yeah.
Because to me, this one and A Hard Day's Night, they're just soundtracks. And I kind of just, my brain just goes, they're not like albums like Rubber Soul or Revolver
Okay.
Right.
or whatever. So when I do sit down and listen to them, I was like, wow.
You always think of the scene in the movie that goes
Yeah,
on.
of course,
Yeah.
I think of this scene in the movie sometimes with this one.
Yeah, I didn't see
Sometimes.
this movie that much growing up. I saw it a couple of times.
I
But
didn't.
not really.
Me
Not
and
like
Corey used to watch it
Yellowstone.
every Friday night.
I know you did, but I didn't. I heard, yeah, this song is like a theme song for me growing up in my
Aw.
life, because I was a very pretty bullied and isolated kid. So I would listen to this song and cry growing up.
Because, hey, you had to hide your love away.
Yeah,
That's deep.
hell yeah.
Yeah, and of course, the message behind the song's really good. The what people speculate it's about. I don't think anyone really for sure knows from his mouth what it's about. But
Yeah, if it's about homosexuality.
according
or
to
whatever.
the anthology, they had a montage of
Brian
Brian
Epstein.
Epstein to this song, so I just take it as canon at this point
That is, though,
because the
I
Beatles
felt-
approved.
I
Yeah.
feel like a dummy, but I was drunk one time watching the anthology, and they played that little bit with the song and just all the pictures of Brian, and I was like, huh, I guess the lyrics to that song could be about being gay.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one time when it all made sense to me. Okay, yeah. But I think it took away even though I'm gay, it took a bit away from my personal meaning, so I kind of shoved it aside a little. But I can see how it is, obviously,
Yeah.
about watching someone be in
But
the
even
closet.
they had gay anthems, y'all.
Yeah.
The
That's
Beatles
fucking
were ahead of their time.
revolutionary type peoples.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah. If for whatever reason you're a troubled gay teen who has stumbled upon this video, you've got to hide your love away. Maybe that could be like your anthem.
Right. Oh, and villanesque has gotten
Oh, yeah,
a lot
this
stronger
is-
here,
yeah.
and it's very good.
Well, especially like, here I stand hand in hand, turn my face to the wall. Like, I don't believe you, parentheses, she acts like we never have met.
Yeah.
I don't understand. She let go of my hand and left me here facing the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine because everyone did that to everybody, so, and they continue to do so. But yeah, definitely, and I kind of like that people were more unashamed to do that with other artists, because nowadays if it happens, they're like, "What have you done? You just stole this. We're gonna sue you." You know, unless you steal from Chuck Berry, and then he will sue you.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird that we've come to this point, and the Beatles are at a point where they were just like establishing what a singer-songwriter is, them and Bob Dylan, and Bob Dylan was borrowing and everyone was borrowing, but now, like, musically we've come to the point where
You think we are beyond that, but we shouldn't be, We should still be sharing ideas and
I don't know.
being able to interpret words and stuff and make them your own
Yeah, you've got to think though, like back then,
without it being a freaking
rock and roll was
awful
pretty
thing to
much,
do.
baby boomer internet. So if someone sent out a message in a song, it was perfectly acceptable to pick up that message and kind of put your own twist or spin on that message into another song. It's just not like that anymore.
That's true.
Because we have the real internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But people do that all the time on the internet. So it's not acceptable in music anymore.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Well, up next, we have track number 4, the first Harrison song on the album, the first Harrison penned song since way back on With the Beatles, Don't Bother Me.
Yeah.
So he's like, you know what? Nah, I gotta get on the horse and ride again. And what he came out with was, I Need You. Let's take a listen. I love that song.
Me too.
I really like that song.
It's one
Why
of
do you
my
love it?
favorites. It's so good.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah.
It's cute.
I really love that. I was trying to think the whole time because I can't remember what it's called. I'm gonna feel so stupid because it's fairly obvious, but that.
Yeah.
Steel pedal.
Yep, that's it.
At least someone knows.
Yeah,
We're not all stupid.
I love that in any song. Though.
Yeah, the
It
steel
is the
pedal is
Beatles one shirt.
very, very good in that.
And especially like right there at the very end, that.
It just makes a mood. Ugh, it feels so good.
Exactly. Yeah, it just that alone, it just sets it into. It's like, oh, yeah, this is all right.
Those last 10 seconds are chef's kiss.
Yeah.
They're very good. I love that song too.
I'm a lyrics person though, so
Yeah, okay.
I just really like this song.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite George songs. Not my favorite, not by a long shot.
I think it does.
But-
A lot like a lot of the popular opinion is like, oh yeah, when George wrote "While My Guitar Gently Weeps," that's when he really. It's like, I mean, he was already good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I will say he's definitely. I don't feel like mean, but who cares? But
He's
like
dead.
he's
Yeah.
a dead person. So, but like he was definitely lagging at the time. But he's also a lot younger, and he doesn't
Yeah.
have as much experience. So considering he's doing a great job, he just happens to be stuck next to these guys who are peaking, or like there's like pew,
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate, but he obviously, I mean, for this being the second song he ever released, very good.
What's he writing these songs about?
His girlfriend, I guess.
Well, that's funny though. I was actually thinking about it. This song almost could work as a prequel to "Don't Bother Me."
Right.
This is like, please come back, but then no, she
Why?
does not.
You wonder.
And then he's like, since she's been gone, I want no one to bother me.
Yeah.
It's the prequel.
Yeah.
you
it's like-
wonder like why is he having all these girl problems? I didn't think. I mean, I don't remember Patty Boyd's book, so I can't remember what the relationship was really like. I read it a long
Like,
time
is
ago.
he having girl problems, or does he just
Or
find
social
that
media.
easy
Yeah,
to talk about?
Yeah, it's probably. I mean, that's such
Yeah.
a universal thing to write about.
Or is it just
Everyone's
one of those
gone through that.
situations where, like,
But
she
maybe
didn't
he
answer
was in
your
love
call?
with Minnie.
Maybe.
Who?
Many women.
Oh,
You know, maybe he's one of those guys
Yeah.
that falls in love everywhere.
I've heard people don't think it because he was the quiet Beatle, but George.
Yeah.
I've heard in some areas that he might have been the biggest pussy hound of the four.
Oh, definitely. But then again, he's got stiff competition because Paul McCartney is
He's a-
legendarily horny.
Yeah, it's true.
He had pussy around the world, and like waiting, just like I call.
He
you
should
every
write a
day.
song about that.
Yeah, he should.
Do you know how that would get huge if Paul McCartney came out with a song called "Pussy Around the World"? That would be like the bigged thing. It'd be huge. It would be Paul. If you listen, come on,
Hey.
dog.
I got. Just kidding.
If for whatever reason you're one of our like 4 listeners,
You ever had a Southern South Carolina? Just kidding.
you know he has.
Maybe
He was here a few years ago. I'm just kidding.
he was here for 3 hours.
He's not married now, is he?
No,
he is
yeah, he's
married.
Oh.
He has
Nancy.
babies and all.
Who was the one with the one leg who fucked
Heather
him
Mills.
over? Oh.
They divorced in like 2005 or something.
But now he is married again.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. That's all we have to say, I guess.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that whole discussion kind of devolved.
Sorry.
All right. Speaking up though, here's Paul McCartney with a song pretty much about what we were just talking about. Another Girl.
Oh.
That guitar riff right there. All the guitar in that song I really like.
Yeah.
That sort of surf, twangy.
Yeah.
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 Very 19.
Again, well, that's another. Anytime I hear that on any song, I'm like, oh, I like this song. So when the Beatles do it, I'm like, I like that song. So
Yeah, it's not my favorite song.
No, I mean,
But I don't dislike this song.
it's fine. I don't have a lot to say about it, but
really, this may be a first. That might be my favorite song on the album
Oh, what?
Maybe.
How? Why?
because of the guitar.
Okay.
I really like
it's,
it.
It's your flavor. It's your
What
favorite
about
flavor of
the
song.
other-
Y'all get to do this every episode.
Okay.
Man,
Jeez.
all I really have to say about this song is, I am not a straight woman, but this part in the movie, they're in the sand and all, right?
Mhm.
And Paul McCartney has these jeans on,
Oh yeah.
and he has a big bubble butt, and I really like that part of the movie.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, I am a straight man, but I feel the same way.
I knew it. Everyone feels that way.
Paul McCartney.
He's got
It's
a nice-
prime Paul McCartney.
He had the nicest booty
In the game.
in this movie, especially.
Yeah.
Well, in the game, but you see it a lot in this movie.
No, Brian Jones is.
He's up
for
there.
his money.
He's up there, but he was also short. So, if you got a nice
You're
booty
here.
and you're 5'11", you win.
You're an ass.
I'm just saying.
Also, Brian Jones looks like a goblin.
Whoa!
Whoa!
We're not getting to that
I'll
conversation.
fight you after this.
We're gonna take it outside when
Next
this is
week
over.
it will be me on my own discussing Rubber Soul.
You talk. You know what?
There's just 2 competing podcasts that nobody listens to now.
They come out exactly the same time on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I like those first 5 when they were together, but then the one guy, whatever
They
his name is,
broke up.
the one guy said Brian Jones looked like a goblin, and it caused a rift. I don't even remember what he looks like.
The next,
No opinion.
he's
No.
gonna start speaking on the rest of the members of that band, and it's really gonna be over. You can talk
Well,
about
all
Bill
look
all
like
you want.
Crap at the end of the day.
Yeah, they're all ugly.
They're my crap.
That's my pile of
Anyway, let's
smiling
about the
pile of
Beatles.
poo.
They didn't age well.
No,
You got to be honest there.
That's
Brian
Brian
did.
wins.
Well, no.
No, he didn't.
No.
Brian Jones' swimming pool was like, you know what? This guy's only going to get worse looking. Come here, fella.
Didn't they exhume his body at
They
some
were trying
point?
to. They couldn't afford it.
Didn't they say that his body was still intact?
He's buried 12 feet underground
So-
in Cheltenham, England, which is very cold.
so he's like
So-
still looks the same.
He's still pretty preserved.
That's weird.
Why they do all that?
Because people would dig him
Well,
up.
he's from Cheltenham, and he was super famous, and they didn't want anyone to mess with him.
That happened to Charlie Chaplin, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Someone stole his body and they tried to ransom it, but he had specifically left his 14-year-old wife instructions like,
Oh, yeah.
he was like, yeah, if anyone does that, just don't pay. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Don't pay him for me. Just let him have me.
Yeah, and they'll go to jail. What are they gonna do? Kill him? He's already dead. Okay.
What were we talking about? Another girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good
It's a good song. I like it.
I like the scene.
It's
in
your
the movie.
favorite on the album so
I said
far.
maybe.
So far.
Yeah.
Not I Need You?
See, I mean,
Hide Your Love Away was just like number 3.
Yeah. Hide Your Love Away is a lot.
I don't know. It's
Okay.
it's all subjective. You know?
It is.
We
We
all have the
our own
ones
taste.
that resonated.
That's
Listen,
true.
that scene for me in the movie, because those women were fawing too. So
That's
it's like
true,
That's
man.
Paul McCartney and it does those close-ups on their face where they're just like.
Oh, yeah.
I remember being 8 years old and watching that and just feeling like it's like I feel funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And it's funny because, we've sat with this music for a long time now. So you get to the point where, stupid songs like this end up being your favorite
Exactly.
song.
Exactly.
'Cause it's like, yeah, it should be You Gotta Hide Your Love Away, but I've heard that a million, gazillion, trillion times.
Don't look at me.
I'm not.
I'm just
in
kidding.
my line of vision.
Okay.
I look wherever I want. It's my house.
This is my high school experience. What are you looking at?
Up next, we've got.
Ooh.
See, I probably spoke too soon.
Yeah.
Shiz nizzle.
We'll save it. Up next, you're going to lose that girl. All right. So I probably did speak to. I think what it is when I listen to this album, I look another girl and you're gonna lose that girl. I really look forward to that 1-2 punch every time I listen to it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's like, he's like, I got another girl. And then the next song is like,
Right? It's like, hey, all that philandering might cost you your relationship, buddy,
yeah,
and
right.
because I might step in and take her out myself.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Okay, Sherman.
Yeah.
it is such a good song. But it's
Yeah.
also one of those you've heard a million times. But
Yeah. I loved it.
I love that song too. The bongos.
Yeah.
Very good.
And I love that scene in the movie
Yes.
too.
Always, a song makes me think of you because you would make me specifically watch this scene several times.
because it's awesome.
Yeah.
It is awesome. It's all blue and purpley
Yeah.
and
It's,
good.
and it's
Smoke
smoke everywhere.
It's a mood. It's a vibe.
And then they go back and it's like, boys, were
Yeah.
you buzzing?
Yeah.
And John says, none for me, thanks. But that's like a Marx Brothers line.
Yeah, they're very
Yeah.
similar.
Well, John was a big Marx Brothers fan
Yeah, he was.
because he had taste.
He's a chilly guy.
We were watching the Marx Brothers earlier today,
Yeah.
Jeremy. And if you want to be cool like us, you should watch them too. Watch the Marx Brothers and listen to the Beatles, and then you'll be a cool person like us.
It really doesn't get any cooler than this.
No, it doesn't.
Imagine this song when it came out, though. How
Oh,
cool it
gosh.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine being a Beatles fan. You're what, between 15 and 18 or whatever age you are, and you haven't gone to see the movie yet, but you got the album, and it
Yeah.
comes on, and you're like, oh my gosh,
That's
oh
like
my goodness.
what I liked really about reading Susie Rotolo's book, and Bob Dylan's one of his early girlfriends, and
The freewheeling cover.
their freewheeling girl, and she talks about a lot about how the Beatles hit in the U.S. and she's like, I'm in Greenwich Village, and she's like, that's all me and my girlfriends listen to all the time. You were like, what? Beatles records all day. So it's like, even like the hippest people,
Yeah.
maybe not in England, but in New York,
Well, I think it's hard to even fathom something like that today.
Yeah.
Because everything is so, like, if you only like rap,
Yeah.
you don't have to listen to anything else. If you only like metal, you can just listen to metal. You don't have to,
Yeah.
So, like, a band really, because, it truly was a mania. They were the biggest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
Right.
And just the way media is consumed today is just, it's not set up for something like that.
Yeah. Everyone can do whatever
Yeah.
Right.
they think.
You get as big as you can, but like it's not gonna touch this.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Cool.
like, of course, I heard Billie Eilish 1,000 times 2 years ago or whatever.
See, I never did. I knew she was super famous, but it's just, if you... And it's not, because I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, I'm not going to listen to it because it's popular. But I just, I never got around to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you just don't want to listen to what's popular anymore, you don't have to.
Right.
Yeah.
You can avoid it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, we'll probably never see another Beatles in our life.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That
we
is.
already have the Beatles.
You never know, though.
Yeah. We say that it could bite us in the ass.
There is,
tomorrow.
though, and I'm sure that there were these people back in the day, but like any band that was as popular as the Beatles were, though, you just have
Oh, yeah.
way too many people like, I don't like them, they're stupid.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've heard a
And I'm sure
quote
that...
from, like, Eric Clapton. He was like, they're actually good. It's too bad no one listened to them. It was like, he's like, no one I knew listened to them. None of my buddies, in England. And, like, Jimmy Page is like, I never really listened to any of their records until Magical Mystery Tour came out. And I was like, oh, okay. I never really heard them, So
It's like if you were too cool.
Yeah.
If you were a purist, it was like, just pop stuff. I don't care.
Well, and yeah, so
But you're missing out.
I think England was a
Now,
little
today,
different.
though, it's like, because everyone's also so visible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you could just, I don't know. You could come across just someone who you think is funny's tweet like, this modern day Beatles suck.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, well, I won't check them out then,
Yeah.
Anywho, up next is another all-time Beatles track, one of their big ones that everybody knows. It is Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride.
Yes.
It's another one. What can you really say about it? It's an all-time classic.
It's
Right.
an amazing song.
When it comes in, the drum beat towards the end, it's just thicker and better.
So good.
And
That's,
before?
I've heard, I think it was John Lennon said that, like, they invented metal with that
I
song.
can see where, like, there's no song I know that's that heavy, which is weird because it feels like a pop, just a pure pop song.
Well, that's,
Not at
if
that
you
point.
only know metal as it is today, then it's like, oh, what? But,
Yeah. It was like, that
at the
was
time,
hard,
yeah.
Hard
I mean,
music.
like, the Yardbirds hadn't hit yet.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
The Rolling
Jeff Beck
Stones
group-
hadn't released Paint It Black yet.
Right. Like, groups of, like, heavy drummers, like Jeff Beck group, those groups, they just did not exist yet. They were in the ether somewhere,
Right.
But the song reminds me of this one time. I didn't realize it was one of their most popular songs
Mhm.
until, like, I was, like, senior in high school and I was riding in my
best friend's car, and she had a tape of the Red album, and it got to this song, and she knew every word, and
She
was
doesn't
like doing
really listen to
perfect
them.
harmonies, and she doesn't really listen to them. I was like, oh wow, it's like that,
Like,
you know.
yeah, I don't know. You know, because, like, to me, like, I know what songs are popular, but I really don't know how popular they are because I've been so entrenched in their music for so long.
really
I
talk
don't
to
know
people about
which songs people like, you know. I don't know. I really have little...
I didn't have friends who listened to them.
Right.
Ever.
No.
So.
It's like, I have a very small idea of what... Like, I know they had hits, and I know what the charts did, but I don't know... Like, I know Yesterday's really popular. Like, I know everyone knows Yesterday. But,
I just
like...
assume they're all popular. If you don't know all of them, you must not know any of them.
Exactly. But no, I know what you mean. It's like I've listened to each album individually, you know, so many times that like I have my own ranking of it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, of every album.
Right.
And so when you're talking to someone who's like not a real head about the Beatles,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
there's like, oh yeah, Ticket to Ride is good. It's like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
You almost wish you were that person so you could,
Listen to them for the
like,
first
showing my
time.
friend, you know, the Beatles of like, I can vicariously listen to them again, you know, a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've been so stoned it felt like I was listening to them.
That's true. That's true. They are
Or
amazing
on,
to listen to.
Certain psychedelics.
We're like Jon Stewart from Half Baked.
I have not seen that.
He's
Just it's a comedy. Assume I have not seen it.
he just goes to like they're describing the different kind of pot smokers, and you remember Jon Stewart, right, from the Daily Show?
Yeah.
It's
Of
like
course.
he's what we call an enhancement smoker. So he's like, dude, you ever drive a car on weed?
Yeah, that's me.
And just, you know, after everything's like, you ever look at the stars on weed?
Yeah.
But
didn't know
yeah,
there were other
listen
types.
to the Beatles is almost a religious experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. To me, I mean, they're like, some people have God,
Yeah.
and I know bands hate that, you know, and it can get
It's
taken
not
way
even
too
like
far,
just
obviously.
them. It's
Yeah.
their
But-
music.
Right.
I promise we don't want to stalk Paul McCartney
No.
outside of his home and shoot him.
Right. Like,
No.
seeing him in concert is enough for me.
Even if I'm in
from
the back of the room.
Right. But, you know,
Right.
even if I hadn't had tickets, just,
That was how I felt. I couldn't afford to go see Paul McCartney when he was here.
It was expensive.
But Bob Dylan was super cheap, and he
Yeah.
came literally in town. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't have to drive an hour to go see him.
yeah.
And even though he, like, can't sing anymore,
Yeah.
it was still like, I'm in the same room as Bob Dylan
No, I
right
went
now.
somewhere with Mom, and we drove by the venue that day, and I saw the bus, and I was like, he's there. And that was it. That was enough for me.
It was, because, you know, he's changed the arrangements of all of them,
Yeah.
you know. So I couldn't even tell, like, what song was what until, you know, it's just like,
He gets to, like,
it's like, what is he singing? It's, I don't Highway 61. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
His little
I'm
heart.
kind of glad I didn't go.
He's so...
He does sing better now, if that makes
He
you feel
does.
better.
Murder Most Foul. He had
He's
kind
got
of his old,
better.
I
his
watched
like
some of his
his
Beatles
90s
stuff.
voice back.
Like, you're not supposed to record at those concerts, but some people record it a little bit, and
He'll live.
he sounds good.
It's the
sounds good.
bootleg series.
Like-
it's a tradition.
Yeah. Right. It's like, okay, we wouldn't hear some of his best songs if someone didn't bootleg them.
Yeah.
Because he's just like...
He makes money off those bootlegs too.
I think they've said that he gets, like, when he sees, like, the phones out, it, like, throws him off. You know, he's got those big lights at the back of his stage, so, like,
sure.
I don't know. I wouldn't know because I'm not him, and he didn't tell me this, so.
I can't know anything. Anyway, Ticket to Ride is great.
It's a great song, and I love the way it tells the story
Yeah.
of your girlfriend moving out. I love the
That was
that
another-
TV promo they did where they're wearing like the jackets
Yeah.
and they're really high and they're laughing. You know,
Yeah.
it's really funny.
Apparently, it was scandalous that she said that living with me. It's like the idea of a boy and a girl living together, but it's like, well, they could be married though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Married people live
Like,
together.
no
No,
one
it's not
said they-
divorce.
Well, yeah,
That's
also
even worse.
scandalous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but it happens.
Right.
Exactly. The Beatles were like, hey, we're just holding a mirror up to society.
Yeah.
You don't like it? Well, maybe change yourself.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they were saying.
Yeah, that's what they would have said.
That was John Lennon's thought process the whole time he was writing those words. All right. Up next we have. This is actually the last Beatles album with cover songs on it,
Oh,
Mhm.
and this one only has 2, and we have arrived at that song. It's the Ringo song, and it is "Act Naturally." All right. Well, that's fun.
It's good.
That's a good time.
My favorite Ringo song.
yeah, that might be my
Really?
favorite Ringo.
I was
cover
gonna
song.
say, definitely up to this point in their discography, that is Ringo's finest album.
It's his finest cover song.
It just
Okay,
speaks
fair.
to the country girl in me. I'm just catching it in the honky tonk,
Yeah.
getting down in this song. Wasn't this song on Toy Story 2?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the credits or
I don't
something?
remember that.
I don't know.
Okay.
You have to watch it
I do not
and report back.
remember.
Yeah. Yeah. I said all the things I wanted to say. It's the
Yeah.
best Ringo cover song. It's fun. I like it
Yeah.
It fits well too with the, they're gonna put me in the movies.
because they're in the
Yeah.
movie, and he
And
had
Ringo's
a scene.
like the main character.
He had a scene where he's sad and lonely in the other one.
Yeah. I don't know. The lyrics to that song, it's just such a weird roundabout, like, it starts off, they're going to put me in the movies. And it's like, oh, so where is this going? And then it's like, yeah, because I'm a loser. And they want the guy to be a loser. So they picked me. So I just have to act naturally. Like, it's just so convoluted and strange.
Very Charlie Brown, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, who,
Is this when the songs quit being
Morrison
in
and
the
Russell.
movie?
Yes, it is. Ticket to Ride is not chronologically, but on the album, it's the last song that's actually in the movie.
Yeah.
So from here on out, these are just
Tag alongs.
yeah, a lot of filler except for Yesterday. Well,
We'll see.
there's some good stuff there. Let's get into it.
Yeah,
Let's get into the next track number 9. It's Only Love. That song is fine.
I like it.
It's probably one of my favorites on the album.
I was reading a book
Okay.
by Rob Sheffield from Rolling Stone.
I know him.
It's called
Dreaming the
Dreaming
Beatles.
the Beatles. It's just about Beatles fandom stuff. And it had like, for
It's at the
each
library.
member, it had like it was like best song, worst song. And this was the worst song that he put. And I was like, really? I kind of like those songs. I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's not one of my favorites, but it's
No.
certainly not one of their worst.
it's one of Stephanie's favorites.
Whatever. I actually prefer, because like the first 2 Beatles albums I ever had
Yeah.
were Uncle Tony let me borrow live at the BBC,
Yeah.
as I've mentioned numerous times,
Yes.
and Anthology Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
So I prefer the It's Only Love that's on Anthology
It is
2.
good. I like
It
that
is
one.
good, yeah.
I prefer that one. Because it was like, I'd listen to that album over and over again. I finally got help from, one of my birthdays, and I'm like,
You had
It's
a whole
Only
birthday
Love.
cake.
yes, I did.
I love
I
that.
did,
remember
yeah.
that.
Said It's Only Love. Why? I know that song from Anthology too. But when it got to it, and it sounds, I mean, it doesn't sound super different, but that, that's not on the Anthology 2 version. And so I was thrown for a loop for a
The song
moment.
is so short. It's less than 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's a short one. I tried to get up and go to the bathroom during it,
Oh, wow.
and
You're paying disrespect to that song.
well, the TV's so loud I could still hear it.
Oh,
I
okay.
just had to go.
Yeah.
I had to go, you know. So yeah, It's Only Love.
Good song. Yeah.
Good.
Like it. I like how he says bright.
Yeah, that bright. Up next is the second Hera song, and it is "You Like Me Too Much." All right, I can already tell this will be controversial, and let me just say I don't dislike that song. "Don't Bother Me" is better.
That's true.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I like that song, but it's fine.
Wait,
That's definitely, of the two, that's the weaker one
Yeah,
on this album.
yeah,
Especially when the other one is "I Need You."
yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like. I like that song, but I don't
The
like
song
it.
just reminds me of how glad I am he got like philosophical. Like, thank you.
He needed
God.
acid so bad, y'all.
It's actually, I mean, we're not even through all their albums yet, but I guess, are we going to do Past Masters?
We can.
Yeah, I thought
I
about
Probably
that.
should, because that has all, yeah. Well, then I guess I'll save it, because I'll just give a spoiler. The only Beatles song that I genuinely do not like is a George song.
Okay,
That's all I'll say.
I know what it is.
Suspense.
I know what it is.
Yeah. You can probably guess because
He's
nobody
told us
likes it.
before.
I don't remember.
Okay, well that's your own fault.
You're gonna remind me later.
No, I'm gonna remind you
All
when
right.
we listen to the Past Masters.
Well, this song, I don't like the intro at all.
The intro's
Really? The little
Oh.
piano?
I don't like any song that does that throughout history. So
it's like how you feel about the guitar in that one
the
song.
surfy guitars.
You feel the opposite way.
about
About
I must have died in a
old Western
saloon.
saloon.
You're like,
You were like that
Triggered.
person who, like, as soon as you walked in, they were just like, "Kill her!"
Yeah.
You were a horse outside of a saloon in a past life, and a cowboy jumped down from the second floor onto your back, but you died.
Yeah.
that's the last thing you heard. He was dealing.
Some dude with a tight armband on for some reason. Doo, doo,
Oh, God.
boo. And then just some fat cowboy was like, "I'm gonna land on my horse." Crack.
So,
Maybe. Who's to say?
the armband got me. Cause why? Why did they dress like that? It doesn't make any sense.
So it sounds like we've exhausted everything there is to say about "You Like Me Too Much."
Yeah.
So let's just go on to the next one.
Okay.
Tell me what you see. That Tell Me What You See is
The best song on the album.
What?
My
Nah,
favorite
I
song
don't
on
It's
the
know.
album.
Stephanie's
all
favorite.
that.
She loves that song. I
For
really
me, it
like
was. I don't even remember why, but I hadn't listened to like this whole album in a long time, and I put it on in the car at work one day, and for whatever reason, I just was like, "Tell Me What You See." I don't really like that song, but then it came on, and after it went off, I was like, "Oh damn,
Yeah.
I kind of do like that song."
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think I did.
It's it is kind of forgettable, especially like when you don't sit with the album a lot. I mean, I didn't like it until recently either, and it was like, well, I guess I'll just listen to Help Me. I don't have anything else to do, and I was like, what? I forgot this is a complete bop. Like that harmony they do, where it's like
it's
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
very
It's
sentimental.
so good, and
Yeah.
it's so sweet. And
To
I
me,
love it.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. I guess it kind of feels anticlimactic.
Yeah.
It's just like, tell me what you see, and then that's just it. You know,
No,
it
no,
it feels like there maybe could have been more there.
no. You're wrong.
I really like the little organ.
The organ
piano.
part is good. The lyrics are. They're waiting for the response.
Hmm.
You know, it's just, you know, I'm here for you. Do you see it? You know, very good song.
All right.
It's very
Fair
thoughtful.
enough. Fair
It
enough.
is
fair.
extremely. It's just one of their best lyrics so far, I think.
I always like the
They
way
aren't
though
on a single.
Yeah.
that it's tell me what you see, and then I've just seen a face
I've just seen a face. Well, thank you for answering
for the
my
first
question.
time. But yeah,
So when you get your eyes fixed,
I remember the first time that I put glasses on.
I
I looked
wanted
at a
to
tree and went,
die.
"Oh my god!"
Yeah, no, I was like, wait a minute, the world isn't blurry.
yeah.
I put my glasses
hated
on
it.
in the little store, and I looked over and there was a mirror, and I was like, my whole day's ruined. I had no idea.
I went to the lens crafters in Anderson to get them, and the woman who worked
Name
there,
drop.
yeah,
Shout out.
we hang out at that lens crafters in Anderson, SC. So you know you got to get down there. That's where all the cool people go. I was at the lens crafters in Anderson, and the woman there was like one of those like really perky, you know, like I love my job people.
Yeah.
And like when I put the glasses on for the first time, I was like, whoa. And then she's like, oh, I love that. The look on people's faces when they first get glasses.
Aw, I like her already. We're gonna
She
go
was.
hang out there.
She's my best friend.
I love her. I can't wait to meet
I
her.
Whatever her
didn't-
name was.
I really didn't notice till I saw leaves, and I was like, "You can see them. It's not just a green blob." I like it.
Yeah, it is perturbing when you realize leaves have shapes.
But
So up next is I've Just Seen a Face. Let's give that a listen, huh?
okay.
Mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
What a good one.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah.
I mean, it really is, though.
Yeah,
I
it's-
personally, if I was them, I would have closed the album with that track.
Right.
What would you have done with yesterday?
Kept it where it is. Yesterday is the next to last track.
You said you would have closed.
Or
you
honestly,
would've put it
I would have
behind-
closed it with yesterday, and I would have just gotten rid of Dizzy Miss Lizzie
Yeah,
because it sucks.
I think a
don't-
lot of
But
people
we're
have
getting
that
ahead of
opinion.
ourselves.
whatever. But
I've heard that opinion many times.
I like this song a lot. But when I was younger,
I
I
hate.
hated this song.
I thought it was boring.
It's like every hipster girl
Oh yeah.
loved this
Because
song.
it's in that Across the Universe.
Well,
movie.
even before then, it's because
Oh,
it's
really?
like that, like it was like girls who like
It's
loved
very
this song,
romantic.
were really
Yeah.
like hipster, and they loved Bob Dylan, who I didn't like because all those dumb hipster girls liked
I didn't
them.
know anything about.
And the
this.
girls were like short hair, and they wore like the
Yeah,
and
the
they
Saddle Creek girls.
Saddle Creek girls loved this song, and they annoyed me, and I didn't like this song. And then it was in Across the Universe, and I was like, I did kind of like it a little bit more after that, because I like that scene where he's in the bowling alley
Yeah.
and he's like running around. I like the cinematography there. After that, really, the movie kind of goes off the handles.
Yeah.
So it was like, ooh,
But we're not
ooh.
talking about.
We're not
this
talking about
universe.
that. But now I really do like the song a lot more. And also he did it when we saw
Yeah,
him
I
live.
think me having to like experience those feelings and then hearing the song, I was like, whoa, yeah, exactly. You know.
Right. And he did it live.
Oh, did he? I forget.
Yes, he did.
Boy.
And it went off.
Yeah, but the intro and then the solo and the fact that you can get like such a energetic song with some acoustic guitars like that.
Yeah.
It's not impossible, but
You know,
haven't
I've
heard them
never
do it
heard.
yet.
I've never heard anyone in a guitar center because you know there's always dudes sitting around, you know, playing "Smoke on the Water" and
Yeah.
never hear anyone play that. But that would be a good because the whole point of picking up a guitar and playing it to see if you like it in Guitar Center
Yeah.
is to hopefully have people go like, hey, you're pretty good.
I've
You know.
heard Edward play it, but not in a Guitar Center.
Yeah.
I've only
Just
been
at
to one
home.
once.
Just at home.
Well, I've never heard anyone because I've hung around. I've been a douchebag with an acoustic guitar, and I've hung around a lot of acoustic guitar douchebags.
Yeah.
They're not old enough.
That song
They
never,
have to be
never,
Edward's
never
age.
comes up.
It's too advanced for
It is. I can't. I've been playing guitar since the 8th grade, and I
Yeah.
can't play that.
I've only met, Eddie can do it. That's about it. He's really, really talented, though.
That's true, he is. Yeah, good song. I like it. Definitely one. I couldn't rank this album, it would be too hard.
But that is a good one.
Yeah.
All right. So up next, we sort of got ahead of ourselves here talking about the track order, but we have the penultimate song on the album. Maybe the most famous Beatles song.
Yeah, for sure.
It is
I think.
Yesterday. So, that was actually what started it all for me.
This song?
Yeah. I think I mentioned this before, but my uncle had made my dad a mixtape.
Yeah.
And so, we used to listen to it in the car.
Yeah.
And Yesterday came on. It was Yesterday off Anthology too, so it doesn't have the strings.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
the
wow.
exact same thing except without the strings. And it went off and I was like, what was that song? What was that? That was incredible. And we would just listen to that. We would listen to the side of the tape it was on.
Yeah.
Every time I was in the car, I was like, I want to listen to Yesterday. I want to listen to Yesterday. I want to listen to Yesterday. Yeah, because it went, I think it was like side B. It was American Pie by Don McLean.
Yeah.
Sweet Judy Blue Eyes by Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Yeah.
And, is Young on that one?
No.
By Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And then
Wait. No, you're right.
Is Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young the same band as Crosby, Stills, and Nash? I mean, they have a different name.
Person, so I'm not
They're
really
different.
a fan.
I consider them differently. I don't like them, but I would
That's-
figure they're not the same. They have a whole new player in there who's completely different from the rest
It's
of
a
them.
different name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they have a different name.
Yeah, I'd say.
Anyway, so
But enough about Crosby, Stills, Nash, and
Yeah.
sometimes Young if he's available. We were talking about Yesterday. And that probably is the most famous Beatles song.
oh yeah, yeah.
It is the most covered song in history.
yeah.
Everybody's done Yesterday.
Well, yeah, anyone can really sing it.
Yeah.
And it's an emotion that's really easy to tap into. So
Yeah.
Right.
it's not like
Everyone laments the past in some way.
yep.
Oh.
And something someone did.
Every second of every day I do that.
Me too. Yeah, so.
So yeah, that's...
There's there's not much to say about it because it's been talked about more than I can imagine, or written about or whatever. But
It
I
almost
really like
feels
that song.
Really? I mean, I understand, but at the same time, you're like,
Yeah,
you
that
really?
is kind of weird because it's like, it's not. It's just a little.
It's
But
a
it
little
is
ditty.
so poignant,
Yeah.
And I think it was probably embarrassing for Paul. I think it was,
It was. He says that in Anthology.
yeah, and you see sometimes when they play it live, he just looks really embarrassed that he's having to do it,
Yeah.
Like he's getting through, but he doesn't.
That's his stairway to heaven.
Yeah.
It's, he says that... Now, I would be more inclined to believe him if, like, every other famous song of his, he's like, oh, yeah, I dreamed that.
What you
Yeah.
said about Let It Be.
He says that about every song. He's like, I actually dreamed that one.
Yeah.
Every
And-
song.
Really
I
hard.
don't-
Not every song, but he says it about a lot of his songs.
I
It
don't
probably
know.
is just
I
like
can't
being
think it's
Yesterday.
just Let It Be in Yesterday. which are his most emotional songs.
But
songs about
he apparently, he thought that he had, ripped the melody off. And so he would, take it around and play it for people and like, have you ever heard that? Does that sound like anything? If I had been a musician back in those days, I'd be like, oh, yeah, dude, I wrote that. Remember when we were hanging out?
Yeah. It's funny because,
that while I was brushing my teeth.
what was it? Keith Richards dreamed Satisfaction, and he never took it around to anybody. He did not care. He just immediately was like, tape recorder. And he's like, this is my song, He could have ripped it off of someone. He didn't. But,
That's
like,
Paul,
if he never considered that he did.
Paul, though, was probably doing, like, a Guitar Center guy thing. Like, have you heard that anywhere? So people would be like, no, Paul, that's really nice.
Yeah. He seems the type.
Right.
Oh, really? So you mean I came up with it all by myself? Wow.
What? Hey.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, as much as I love Paul, I don't, like, if I had known him, if by chance our personalities had been together, I wouldn't like him. I wouldn't like him at all. I'd be like, you're annoying.
Just turn around and walk out.
That is, like, it's so funny in in Anthology, because every single thing he's like, oh, yeah, that was actually my idea.
Yeah.
Then something bad, he's like, I may have thought of it. You're like, okay. Could have been my idea, but there's so many ideas.
Like, Brian Epstein, like, made him start wearing suits, Paul's like, I had wanted to do that. And then Brian said we had to, but it was really my idea,
He's a silly, silly man. A silly man.
But yeah, I guess, though, just my own experience with it, that being the song that started it all for me, I can understand why people really love that song as much as they do, because I get it.
Yeah.
That kick-started a lifelong obsession.
Oh, there's this really good story in that book I read. It's like in their own words or whatever, writers writing about their favorite Beatles song. And this song in particular is written by this guy, and he hates the Beatles. He's like, I hate them. I do not listen to them. I don't like them. But he was in Tokyo, and he was in one of those karaoke. He went out on a date with this woman, and they were in the karaoke thing, and they didn't speak the same language that well. And they sang that song together because it's the only song they both knew every word to, because everyone knows every word to this song. And he's like, and he married her, and he was like, but I hate them. But that's my favorite Beatles song, and I hate that song. I met my wife. Yeah. Really sweet.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, if you aren't related to this song, are you living? That's all I gotta say.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
All right. And
okay.
so,
Let's
time
do
for
it.
the final track, and let's get this over with. It's Dizzy Miss Lizzie, the final Beatles cover song on an album. Unless you count the ones on Let It Be. No, this is the final Beatles
Let's
cover
not
song.
count them.
All right. Let me just say,
Yeah.
if that had been on with the Beatles,
No.
I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah,
Really?
I wouldn't hate it half as much
I
if
guess
it wasn't
so.
on this album.
It just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It's so they're so beyond this.
Yeah, it
the
just
need
sounds
for
like
this.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
know.
you guys can clearly write some pretty good ones.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you just take Bad to Me back and put it on the album?
Ooh.
If you needed 14 songs.
Yeah.
Like Bad to Me or something like that. Like, they had a lot of songs that they were good that were given
Well, you know,
to
they
other
had
people.
fans who liked this kind of stuff from them,
Oh
I'm
my
sure.
god. They were wrong.
Idiots.
They were
Whatever.
wrong. They were wrong. And it's like
I will
so
say,
disappointing after
When I was
yesterday.
little, I liked this song.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought it was about a lizard. So.
It wouldn't even be that bad on this album if it
wasn't
wasn't the last song.
Yeah.
Yesterday should have been the last song.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
It's such a buzzkill. You're like, what is, I
But
don't want
we were
this. I don't
saying,
want
you were
this.
saying that last week though, that kind of put a dud at the end of the record
Yeah.
because of the way actual records work.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
They didn't know. They were right on the cusp of like one being in control of the track list, and two making it into an art form.
Yeah.
Which why didn't more people learn from this mistake? But people still make this mistake. So.
But yeah, so Dizzy Miss, it's not even one that I dislike. It's just I sort of dislike it in context.
Yeah, it's really unnecessary. You're like, okay.
But like if it came on the like serious Beatles channel, I probably wouldn't change it.
Yeah.
I might go see what else was on, but if nothing else was on, I'll leave it.
It's not long enough to really Well, it's one of the longer songs on the album, which is
It feels like that.
Yeah.
you're like, can you cut it in half? Look, it's only got 1.2 million views on YouTube, and the other ones had like at least 4 million.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's how people feel about the song.
Yeah. So, Help sort of ends with not with a bang, but a whimper. Unless you cut it off at Yesterday, in which case,
What a great
damn,
album.
front to back, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a good album.
Yeah.
Let's do sort of a summation.
I realized that I don't like this album in theory, and I don't listen to it that much because I really hate the cover. And my eyes go, I do not want to look at that. And when you're like streaming music, you know, you look at the cover, so my brain's like, nope.
I will
can't be
say,
good. Yeah, I hate this cover. It's awful.
I like this album.
hang on,
don't
because
care
I
about
have
the cover.
the
I mean,
American one.
Yeah.
I do listen to it, but the album cover is really bad. Their worst album cover. That's a lot better.
Yeah,
Wow.
the American album cover is
Yeah, it
actually
is.
like it's the same picture of them, and it's still
Yeah.
on a white background, but it's just like they're in black and white, and you guys won't
Their
care
name
about
is
this.
really big. The title of the album's really big. It's like on this, like the company logo is a lot bigger than
Yeah,
the name of the album. It's just bad design.
I think that's one of the. I've always thought there was something off about it, but I've never actually like put it into words, like even in my own head. But you're absolutely right.
Like their name is small. Why is the title underneath that box?
And see,
It's just
compare the
bad.
back of the British version, the back of the American version. If only they just had the same exact songs on the American version.
Let me see.
It's like it's only the songs from the movie, and then just like the Indian music covers of Hard Day's Night.
Instrumental for-
Yeah,
Wow.
just like they play in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's not good. Just kidding.
And you guys won't care about this, but I like it that the color of the words help, and then behind it.
Why would I not care?
Well, I just like it because it's the color of the Houston Astros old uniform.
Oh, you're right. I don't care. You were right.
I mean, like, it's. Let me see this. I mean, I love the color yellows.
Yeah.
Is this fine with me?
Yeah, that's a lot better of a cover. That cover is really bad. Their
Yeah.
worst cover.
I liked the Houston Astros uniforms when I was a kid because they were very eye-catching. Because you don't see colors like that on a lot of baseball uniforms, especially not together like that.
Right.
So, look at that.
And they
You
got
open it
better
up,
pictures.
better pictures than the British one.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
So yeah, the British version, the music
Honestly,
is better.
They should have used this picture of them with the scarves on the skis as
Mhm.
their album cover.
That would have been a good
It
one.
would have been a better album cover.
Yeah, I guess.
But no one asked me because I
No.
wasn't alive.
Rather than I just looked it up, but what are they actually spelling? Nudge V?
Yeah,
something like
Yeah.
that.
It's like, yeah, you guys didn't even spell it right. And you insisted on that being the album cover. Oh, look, you even get a
What's your favorite on the album?
favorite on the album. Probably You're Going to Lose That Girl.
Okay.
But I think it has enhanced the 1-2 punch of Another Girl and You're Going to Lose That Girl is
Okay.
just about as good as it gets.
Stephanie.
It's Tell Me What You See.
Okay.
That's when I go to first when I go on the album.
I'm just gonna stick with You Gotta Hide Your Love Away because I think it's. Oh no, it's Ticket to Ride.
Oh yeah, okay. There's really no bad answer on this album. There's no like, oh, which this one's my favorite, because all of these are really good.
Was Ringo more popular
Yes.
in the States than the other
Yes.
guy?
It seems so.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the inside of the American album, and it's like, and now hear Ringo, John, George, and Paul sing all their sensational Help songs in this very special movie soundtrack souvenir album.
Little kids loved Ringo.
Well, just, you don't hear a lot of people put Ringo first when
Yeah.
they're listing the Beatles.
Yeah.
Especially because John, Paul, George, and Ringo rolls off the tongue so well.
Yeah. I think also
Ringo, John,
a
George,
lot of
and
people
Paul.
were like preoccupied with his name. You see a lot of people like back then making jokes about it or whatever.
Mhm.
So he must have been really popular.
Yeah, I mean, he was like the movie star one. He had all the plots in the movies, so obviously he was probably the most popular personality-wise.
We should do a special one where we watch the movie
Yeah.
and A Hard Day's Night. Well, we should just do all the Beatles movies.
We will.
Except for Let It Be, because they took it off Pornhub.
That's so sad.
But we can do one when that new Peter Jackson one comes out.
Yeah.
We
I'll
can go
spend
see it
money
and
on
talk
that.
about it.
I've been waiting long enough.
All right.
Well, I think this is the end.
I believe that is the end. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. This has been a presentation of NPR, and we will see you on the other side.